Another thing I gotta explain about this video, stability and success. The name's Eric, if you don't know. Okay, let's get started. Like or dislike, because I'm gonna say something. Now, what it means to be successful is doing whatever it takes. You know, like you've been put down, and you're trying your hardest to get back up. You know, investing your money in stocks or something, and you get your money back. Hopefully, starting a business instead of working a job, because you want to be your own boss. You want to own something. You know, being a successful business owner, entrepreneur, that. Success, if it means working at a career job, doing what you love, and you're making like 50,000 or 100K a year, or even more. Like being successful, trying to be an actor, a filmmaker, a director, being successful. I mean, just doing all of these side hustles instead of doing a job. I don't know, but like, when it comes to success, you got to believe of what you're doing. You got to believe of why you want it. And being successful of keeping yourself in shape. You know, you want to be a bodybuilder, you want to stay in shape, you want to be lean. You know, you want to be fit. Success right there. To me, there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, I just got a different opinion. I don't disagree on being successful. I don't. My different opinion, and what I'm trying to say is this. I choose to be stable instead of being successful. I've chosen that route. And what it means to be stable is try not to worry about pushing yourself ahead further than everybody else. Just taking it one day at a time, trying to be stable if it means, because like being stable to me is that you're doing what you're doing, and what you're doing is working out for you, and you're feeling all right. You know, if you're okay with working a job instead of, you know, trying to be a business owner or an entrepreneur. Like, I'd rather choose stability. I'm not going to push myself ahead to be on the top. You know, I'm not in a rush. And to me, it feels like being successful, you have to rush yourself to be at the top. I mean, there's not always rush, but like, you still have to like get up there. You know, take long times. To me, I don't see myself as a successful person because it feels like I'm winning. It feels like I got to sign up for a race. You know, why am I supposed to, like, why should I win a race if I didn't sign up for it? if this isn't what I wanted, at least not anymore. Because I used to want to be successful at being an entrepreneur. That didn't work out for me because you have to keep putting your money down on advertising and the products that you're making. I'm like, you got to get all the ingredients or the products to make your own item. And then you sell it online, and hopefully that people will buy your stuff. And the thing that is that for me, it didn't work out for me. I used to have an online art business called Etsy. Well, I do have another one that's it's big cartel, but I'm not paying anything. Cause they said like you get to post 5 items for free. If you want to post more than 5, you're gonna have to pay a fee. That's monthly. But when I sell 5 things, I could sell them as collections. You know, how many things are in one item, you know? I get to do that. So yeah, I used to have an Etsy business. It did not work out. I only had like 2 sales. But that was years ago. My first sale was a shirt that I made from my art. And it was 3 years ago. The day before my birthday. And then another sale that was in 2 years ago, 2020, was an art print. And I went to ship that off when they bought it. So, you know, I did what I did. I kind of knew what to do at that point. But here was the problem though, for Etsy. I was paying a lot of money that wasn't necessary. Like when you sell an item, you pay 20 cents when you're selling an item. But if you keep posting more and more and more, that eventually is going to be more than $1. It's going to be more than $10. Depends on how much you're posting. And I used to be paying for advertisements, which is extra. I was not smart about that. I was not successful at that. And I've had that Etsy business for 4 years. It didn't work out. It's my phone on the table. So I deleted that because it felt like it was weighing my money down, financially weighing me down. You know? I mean, the other thing that was pretty successful was getting 2 sales, but like to keep a business like that, it doesn't go easy. And I knew from the start that, I really knew from the start that when you start a business, it will fail first. It will succeed after it fails or something like that. I just knew it would fail. And plus, I didn't really have the money to start a business like that anyway. I've tried, but that didn't work out. So I'm just, you know, and if let me tell you something, I'm an artist. So if you like my stuff and you want to buy my stuff, okay, it'll be links in the description below. It'll be right there. But I'm not gonna force people to buy my stuff. I'm not gonna take advantage of people. And that's the thing, right? It feels like in order to be successful at your business, you have to really learn how to get people to like your stuff, get people to notice your stuff. Recognition doesn't always work out for me. Getting noticed doesn't always work out for me. It doesn't. It takes time, but why should I force it? Just like with social media, you have to get people to like your stuff. You know, like there's so many things on social media. You gotta follow to follow, like for like. Follow for follow, like for like, something like that. Getting people to notice your stuff, using so many hashtags. You know, like promoting yourself. And you still don't get that much attention, and especially if you promote your advertising yourself on social media, and that doesn't work out. People are not following you. They're still not buying your stuff. So you're wasting your money down on that. The time you put on that, the money you put on that, the time and money and effort you put on that, you get nothing back. That's the way I see it. And the only thing that works for me is going to these art shows. Like you see it in one of my vlogs. Two vlogs that I posted, actually. I would rather do these art shows for people to look at in person and buy my stuff in person than to go online trying to put money down on something that I cannot really afford. Although I tell you this, there are art shows that are very, very expensive. My first art show that I went to was a few years ago, 3 years ago, and it was very expensive at first because you have to get a lot of people to buy tickets for you, for them to show up at your show, and for you to get in the show. It was called Raw Artists. It was fun to be at that show, but it was stressful putting money down on to get tickets so that I could reach the limit and get in the show. They told me to sell 20 tickets. I've only sold 3, but luckily I still got in there the first time. That was my first time. I've learned that lesson. I've tried doing a second show in April, a few months ago. Back then. But that didn't work out. But then the second time I did it again, it kind of worked out because they actually worked selling 20 tickets. But am I going to do that again? No. No. Nuh-uh. Unless I'm really rich, sure. Otherwise, no. I cannot afford it. I knew the money in my bank account. I knew I cannot afford that. So, in order to have fun, you really got to work. Or be smart with your money trying to own a business, which is not that simple for me. So I would rather work a job doing these art shows and travel around the world. Like I don't mind I don't mind those successful things. Doing art shows, traveling the world around the USA, around outside of my country, and hopefully to do those art shows there. To show people what I'm passionate about. And they can buy it. Hopefully I make a lot of money there. Hopefully I could be rich there in person. I don't know. Some kind of traveling artist, but I'm not a traveling artist. I don't mind those things, but to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, I don't see myself in that. And I don't see myself working at a career job doing what I love, because I don't think a career job is doing what I love. I don't care what you tell me otherwise. I don't care. I'm not gonna work at a job and then paying for a house. A nice, beautiful house that I cannot afford. I'm not gonna end up working at a career job and then trying to get something nice, something materialistic just to live the American dream. I'm not doing it. I'd rather work a part-time job. And still have I'd rather work I'd rather work a high-paying part-time job than to work at a full career job where I don't have time for myself. A life-work balance. If I don't have that balance, I definitely would lose my mind. I'd definitely be overwhelmed. I definitely would not be able to sleep, regardless if I keep staying up. And I'm not at school either. I graduated from school. I'd rather work and I'd rather work instead of going to school. Because honestly, I feel like going to school is like a waste of time. And especially if you don't have a job. Like, what's the fucking point? I used to be at a full-time school. I used to be at a school full-time. Realize it's a waste of time when I don't have money in my bank account. When I don't have money in my pocket. And especially if I'm a grown man getting out of high school. Having a hard time getting a job. I mean, I have a job now. It feels like you have to go to school in order to be successful. Like, I don't mind, I'm not putting people down that they should not be successful. I'm not doing that. I'm not telling you that. I'm just doing what works for me. I'm just doing that doesn't make me upset, that doesn't make me frustrated, that doesn't make me stressed out, doesn't make me feel overwhelmed. And for that thing, that you have to keep how do you say it? You have to keep pushing and pushing, which feels like another successful thing instead of a being stable thing. Keep hoping and all that stuff. And that's the thing. I don't keep my hopes high. I don't live off of hope anymore. I don't keep my hopes high anymore. That will change. That's not going to change. I can only, let me tell you something, I can only do with what is in my hands. I can only do with what I have right now. Though, there are some things I can do because of what I learned how to do. That too. But I don't keep my hopes high up. And especially if you're applying for a job and you know you're going to get rejected. So, what's the point of trying to believe that you're going to get this job? It's realistic things that could happen. You know the realistic results that could happen to you. And that's the way I see it. And like I said, I'm the type of dude, if things don't go my way, I'm doing something else. And some people will think that I'm a loser for, some people will think I'm lame because I'm not trying to be on top of everybody else. Some people think I'm a loser because I don't want to make more money than everybody else. Sometimes being like, I don't mind this. Like, there's some areas of being a loser, being a winner, or being a tie, because that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know what's between being a loser or a winner. It doesn't make sense. What I'm saying might not make sense. You have to lose in order to win, right? I would rather lose something that feels like it's holding me back. I would rather lose and do something else. Because in order to win, you have to keep fighting something that's worth for. And a lot of things I see in this world are not worth fighting for. There's just some things you don't get back. There's just some things you can't get back. Unless I really have a backup plan, unless I really know what to do, like, at least if I have a backup plan or a plan B, maybe I will fight things back. I will fight back to get things back. But otherwise, no. Not everybody's going to have a plan A, plan B, or plan C, or a backup plan. This is going to be too much, but like, that's the way I see it. I just see myself stable. I'm not going to worry about getting to the top of the world. Getting to the top, reaching high far of success. I don't chase the idea of success anymore. I only chase the idea of stability. Like I said, I can only do with what is in my hands, what I have now. I can only do with what I have now. I keep saying that. If I get fired from a job, I'll find another one. And if I don't get respect for just doing my regular thing from people, like if I don't get respect from people because I'm doing my regular thing, so be it. At least you can get off my back and stop trying to make me be successful like one of you. And I'm tired of running my fucking mouth every time I talk to people. I'm tired of trying to socialize in order to get what I want, when mostly that doesn't go well. And especially dating, that's never successful anymore. We know that results. To improve yourself, to get the person you want. I mean, I don't mind improving myself and developing myself, but like, I don't want to have to do it where it ends up manipulating people's decisions on how they feel about me. And if I'm called, if these red pill YouTubers think that I'm a beta male simp, a pleaser for working a job instead of owning a business or even starting a business, becoming an entrepreneur, so be it. Whatever. It's not for everyone. It's not always for everyone. It's not for me. And I've never considered myself an alpha male. I'm just a regular dude trying to figure out how to deal with the real world and what I can do about it. And yeah, sometimes I want to escape my reality because there's just nothing valuable in my reality. Feels like no matter how many times you try to fight for things, no matter how many times you try to find something else different, there's just nothing there. So I just focus on something else that I love. And just, I don't know, keep stepping outside. I mean, I've said it too much here, so that's all I really got to say. I'd rather be stable than successful. I don't mind getting the bag, so I'm still getting money, period. And I'm not gonna buy things that are not valuable, that are over my budget. I would not invest. I'm just gonna keep saving and saving. All right, I'm out. See y'all later.